We're live. I got an intro. That's the first time I've ever seen it. Thanks, Dal and Josh. Hi, Genesis. So welcome to Women That Shred, everyone. Sorry, that was just like super cool that I have a finally like an intro. But anywho, so my guest today, oddly enough, is not my first model on the show. I know, but you're my first like actual like active model. Like you're still modeling and you're in the mortgage industry. So everybody, welcome Genesis Ashley Gomez. Yay. Genesis, you're in Arizona, right?
No, I'm in Colorado.
Colorado. Okay, I knew you were somewhere around there. Now, Genesis and I actually met at a book signing in Virginia before I moved.
Mhm.
Right? You collaborated in a book about your story, which is incredible, and I don't know if we'll get to it or not because it's like amazing, but maybe we'll just plug the book at the end because it is a pretty incredible story. But I'm sure people are wondering, okay, so, oh, and look, Tony came on. Tony's never been in on the show. Thanks, Tony. I know he's supporting you. And Christina's on too. Hi, Christina. So Genesis, yeah, like give us a little bit of a background because I'm sure people are like, she's a model and she's a mortgage broker. Like, how does that happen?
I get that a lot, actually. People,
I know that's why I figured you might as well like share it with my audience too.
people say, "What do you do?" And I say, "Oof, how much time do you have?" Because
Right.
like you said, I mean, I'm also an author, and it's not just one book; it's about 3 books that I'm collaborating on and leading up one of the newest ones, Where I Met You, right? And so I think that it's pretty cool. But basically, I've been modeling on and off since I was about 11 or 12 years old. Um, and I say on and off because I had my son at 16 and my daughter at 20, and I was a single mom for a very long time. So you need to make sure you have a lot of time that you put into these auditions and going to modeling gigs. And sometimes you have to go to them at the drop of a hat, right? That's not very conducive to a single mother life, right? And so it kind of got a little bit put on the back burner there for a while. But then, my kids got older and I said, I'm just going to get back into it. I'm just going to do it. And I had a lot of naysayers in the corporate world and the mortgage world, and they said, "You can't do that. You're gonna look like a bimbo, and you're too old now." And I was like, "No, that's not a thing." And so I just continued going to auditions and runway shows and photo shoots, and now I've been on all kinds of billboards and magazines, and I just won the national title for Miss Supermodel for Supermodels Unlimited magazine. And it's been a dream, right? And so I'm a huge believer in don't give up on your dreams. Keep pushing forward no matter what people say, no matter what it takes. You just go for what you want. And so now I'm doing everything that I always dreamt I would do from the time I was a little girl. I had this vision that I was an entrepreneur, um, model, a mom, and I was up on stage speaking to people about my story, and an author. And I'm literally doing all of those things right now. That vision that I had, whether it was God given or I've had, always the naysayers of, oh, it's not God given. I believe it's God given. I think that I had that vision in my mind since I was a little girl before I understood it. And now I know that I have a greater purpose and a greater mission to share my story of where I come from, adversity, and how I have overcome to get to the point that I'm at today.
Wow. I mean, and you have overcome a lot. Yeah, like I said, you have a story. What you just said is like a tiny little snippet of it. But that's why I wanted to have you on the show. It's funny because a lot of times I'm like, okay, I need people in the industry and I don't know why it just like suddenly one day I was like, why have I not had Genesis on here? Like, oh my gosh, like this is so obvious. So I'm glad that I finally like got my act together and
know. I'm really glad that
I
you
saw
reached
you
out.
on Instagram and I was like, duh.
Was it that
That's
newest
so
video that I did? The one where I'm like kind of pointing at all of what people have said about me?
I think so. And then there was another video that you did recently. Just you were kind of having a moment. You were, a little sad and you totally stripped down, no makeup, no filter, nothing. Like, and that's what I love about what you do too. And you and I kind of connected in that way as well about, we try to be very mindful with our social media and how we put ourselves out there because you being a model, you have a ton of young women and older women like myself that look up to you, and so you're an amazing role model. And so I love just how you put yourself out there. I mean, you're just raw and real. So I
You're
applaud
gonna
you
make
for
me
that.
cry on your podcast. I'm swearing.
Oh,
But thank
I
you
don't know if
very
I've made anyone cry yet.
It's a good cry. It's a good cry, but I was
No,
like clearly tearing
seriously.
up.
No, seriously. Like, I mean, yeah, I want everyone. I'm gonna like blast this anyways, but I really want people to get to know who you are because you truly do have a gift, and like you said, you have a vision, and it's all coming to life. And I think that that's not a coincidence. That's all I'm saying.
So my daughter is 16, getting ready to turn 17, and both my children have challenged me in different ways to make me a better person. But she shows up in a very unique way, and if you ever get a chance to meet her, you'll understand what I mean. But she was talking to me the other day about how she's seen my growth and how I have inspired her to do better and show up in the world. And she was like, "I just want you to see your growth, mom, and I want you to see how far you've come. I think it's pretty amazing." And so anyway, um, she talked about divine timing, and
Mm,
it's so interesting when you think about divine timing that maybe I wanted this all to happen when I was 20 something years old, and I thought it was going to. I was working on a movie. I was an extra in it. I did makeup. I was, doing some stuff, right? And making it happen. And then it didn't. But now it's all happening. I'm 37 years old now. And again, people think, oh, well, that's too old to really get back into the swing of things and really get things started. I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I know there's this local model. Her name is Susan, and she is 50 something. And I can't remember exactly, but gorgeous. And she just started her modeling career and she's all over the place, right? And I think I see people like her and this other woman named Brenda, and she's an older woman too. They're doing remarkable things. And I think for me, being that mid to plus size model, being 37 years old, I just want people to know like it's your journey. It's no one else's journey. And they're putting their own limitations and their own restrictions on you to say you can't do that. That doesn't mean you can't do that. That means they can't do that.
yeah.
And so, even when I'm talking about all the different things that I do and people say, it's too much. It's too much. You need to pick one or at least pick two. Just pick the modeling and mortgage and don't do anything else. And I said, well, no, I don't want to. I want to do all of the things that I'm doing and make sure that I live the life that I always wanted to live. And when I'm on my deathbed, I can say, I tried. I
Mhm.
tried everything, right? And I have no regrets. Isn't that a dream? Isn't that nice?
Yeah. I mean, well, I'll tell you this, you're like, I'm 37, I'm 37, I'm 47. And I feel like I'm just starting like a whole new chapter and a whole new phase, and I'm just getting started. So, I mean, and that's 10 years out from you. So just imagine, like, this is why it's so inspiring for so many people because different age groups, just like you said, a lot of us in our 20s, we think that we should have it all figured out. And then we're in our 30s, and then we're like, well, then this is when I'm supposed to have it figured out. Well, I'm in my 40s, close to 50, and I still don't feel like I have it figured out. You know what I mean? So it's like, I love that we're showcasing different women from different phases with, different careers. And um, I think it's just so empowering just for everybody. And so this is really cool. But I want to ask you because, like, let's be real, you're a mortgage broker and you're doing the modeling. Like, how are you juggling both? Like, I know you have a couple fun stories to share with us. Like, I think that would be really fun to hear your stories.
for asking that question, and that's something that I always forget to talk to people about, and I think it's very important, right? Like, I have literally been backstage with my cell phone, sending a pre-approval letter just before I hit the road.
It's
Or I'm in the
crazy.
middle of a photo shoot and I say, "Hold on one second, I gotta take this call from this realtor." And they're pretty understanding about it for the most part, right?
Yeah.
I do have a team now. Kelly Shea is on my team and he's incredible. And I'm looking to get a couple of other girls on my team, which will be really helpful, right? As I get busier with podcasts and writing and going and public speaking. I think that that will be rather important because those things I will have to be not to say I'm not present when I'm hit that runway, but it's just a little more flexibility that I've had so far with the runway and the photo shoots, right? And so I think when you have a really good team of people that you can trust and you know that they're going to do the best job that they can to be you in
Yeah.
whatever situation that is, I think that that's rather important. And I will say that's another thing people said I couldn't do. They said, "Nope, you gotta be here before you start hiring people." I don't think so. I don't think so. I
Yeah.
believe in abundance and I believe that we can all share. And so I don't mind sharing my commission with good people who are gonna I can help them get where they want to go and they can help me get where I want to go. That makes sense. But
Yeah.
while I've been doing it by myself, I do have one realtor, or actually two, and they are my raving fans. And they're like, I don't know how you do what you do, but you're incredible at it. You always answer your phone. You are always on the ball. You never, we've always hit the closing table, right? I have a few other realtors, but I think that there's the limitations that go on. Like, this can't be possible, right? She
Yeah.
has to be lying to me somehow.
You're too good to be true.
Can't be real. This can't be real. And I am human. So there have been times where maybe I'm not the best on the ball, right? I'm sick. I have some family stuff going on. Whatever it is, right? It's my life is a perfectly balanced scale until it's not. There have
Mm.
been, tragic losses in my life and different things that have happened with my family that tip those scales. And then I don't show up 100% my best self. I show up the best way I can at that time. But if I'm being completely honest, and I think that's where we all should be,
Yeah.
is is that there have been times where I have not been 100% my best self. But if anybody is looking at what I can do and what I have done, I do show up well. I have won the 5-star professional award this year for mortgage, and so to me, that's a big deal because customer
Yeah.
service means a lot to me. I
Yeah.
don't For me, I don't care necessarily if mistakes are made because I know humans are humans, right? It's how you take that mistake and you run with it and you make it right toward the end, no matter what that means, right? The lasting impression that you have is how you got to that closing table, how you made them feel. I think it's Eleanor Roosevelt that said, no, I'm sorry, Maya Angelou that says, people don't remember what you do or say, but they remember how you've made them feel. And I probably botched that
No,
quote.
but you got no, that's one of my
You know what I'm
favorite
getting at, right?
quotes.
Yeah. So that's me, right? That's who I am, but I love what I do, and I love when we get to the closing table and they're hugging me or a lot of the time I'm the lender that's saving the deal. I'm doing one right now where the lender was like, "No, there's absolutely no way that we can get this done in 30 days or less. I need 45 days at least." And the realtor called me and she goes, "Okay." Her name's Janine Baird. I have to plug her in right now.
Yeah.
But she calls me and she says, "Okay, you're the best that I know. You are my favorite lender. Can you do this?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know why this woman can't do this. I don't know why she's saying she can't get it done in 30 days or less." And we're trucking along and we're gonna close. It's fine. Everything's fine. So
Awesome.
it's nice.
So, well, then how did you even get into the mortgage industry in the first place? Like, that's what I'm wondering, like, how did, like, I mean, and if you ask everybody in the industry, they always stumble upon it. Like, no one had, it was never
Yeah.
intentional for anyone. So that's why I'm curious how you stumbled into the industry.
Hey, okay. All right. So about 11 years ago this month, I actually fell into banking. I was going to school, of course, a single mom. I was working a bunch of hours, and then on my days off, I would go help my grandparents, do laundry or um, mow their lawn or whatever, right? So I was sleeping like 1, 2 hours a night. I was drinking Red Bull like it was water. FYI, please don't do that. And then coffee in between there, and then going and grabbing food as I would go from one place to the other. And so it was fast food, whatever. Anyway, really unhealthy lifestyle, but I was trying to
Yeah.
make everything work. And I started having sleep deprived seizures on the casino floor. Yeah, I worked at Ameristar and
What is that like to have a sleep deprived seizure? Like, you literally just like go into
hit
a
the
seizure.
floor and just, yeah, just start seizing. It
Oh my
was
God.
scary and not fun at all. And people rumors start and people talk all kinds of
Mm,
stuff about you. And so the upper management at that casino said, "We are not firing you and you're not quitting. It's a mutual understanding." And I just left going, "What? This can't
yeah.
be right?" So I was looking into a lawsuit because that's not right. But do I really want to be tied up in 2 years in litigation? No. So I just got the first job that I could possibly get. And I was working part time at 24-hour fitness. Anyway, I took that small little check into the bank, and the teller at the time, she says, "You should work. What is this?" And I said, "Can you please just deposit my check?" We had a good relationship, so there were some f bombs that got dropped. But anyway, I just said, "Can you please just
What
deposit
the F is this?
my mind your business, right?" And so she goes, "Well, you should work here." And I said, "I'm not doing math for a living. That's not a thing that I'm going to do." No, thank you. And she was like, "I'm serious." So I went home and I prayed about it. And I went ahead and put in my application and then went in the very next day and introduced myself to the manager. Well, about 4 hours later, I had a job. She was like, "I can only hire you part time, but if you're willing to go wherever, you can work full time." And I said, "Yeah, I'll go wherever." And my car broke down. I didn't have my car at the time. And so I took the bus wherever and took my kids to daycare and then took the bus wherever they needed me, from Boulder to Lakewood, I think, or DTC area. It was all over the place. Anyway, I I discovered that I could talk to people about their mortgages and investments and credit cards, and I was getting bonuses on top of my regular pay. And I was like, "Hold on, wait, you know, I can have one job. I can be home with my kids at night." And they were like, "Yes, weirdo." So, so I just kind of worked my way up from there in banking, and I made number one in the district, number two in the region before I left that bank. And I moved on to a credit union in which I stayed in pretty much the top 10 of sales, and I was the top mortgage referrer out of anyone. And so my first mentor in the business was Jamie Slavin, and he saw something in me and offered me a position. I said, "Hold on, wait, I'm actually going to be a branch manager. You don't know." And he was like, "Okay, that's cute, whatever." Right? And so I went home and I had a dream that night of being in the mortgage industry, and it was like this very vivid dream of that this could open up doors that I wouldn't otherwise be able to open up, right? And so I went and talked to him, and he's like, "Yeah, I gave that position away to one of my now really close best friends," right? But he's like, "Try again in like 2 months." So I did. Anyway, long story short, I got that job. I met Cheryl Braunschweiger, who's in the industry. She ended up being my second mentor. And then from there, the rest is history. I just kind of worked my way on until I became a broker. And the broker world is definitely for me, right? It's not that very strict. You got to have the 3 loans a month or your job is on the line or any of that, right? I mean, if this was my main focus, could I be a top producer? Yeah, I very much believe I could, but I
Right.
don't. It's not my goal. My goal is to build that team and to give people um, someone who is willing to go to bat for them and to research, to share my knowledge that I have in the banking industry and the mortgage industry and to help them get where they need to go, right? Or, like one of the girls I'm looking to bring onto the team, she's like, I actually don't, I'm not sure if this is something I want to do long term. I think I want to switch careers, but I don't want to give up all my book of business. Okay, great. Come over to the team. We'll support you in any way that we can, and we will work your deals just like we would work our own or the way that you would work them, however you want that done, right? And it's like a retirement plan for her in a way that she doesn't have to lose that particular stream of income, if that makes sense. And so
Yeah.
that's what the broker channel has really done for me. But yeah, that's kind of a little short synopsis of a long story, long.
Like long story, a little shorter.
But yeah, so I mean, that's kind of how I ended up falling into it and kind of the path that I ended up going on. And it's been a great journey. And people have made me question, well, should I get out of it? Should I just focus on one thing? Should I do
Well,
this?
that's what I was going to ask you. Like, where are you at? Because it's obvious that you're really passionate about it. Like, you started it out because it'd help you have a career and full time job, money, but clearly you fell in love with it. So yeah, like I'm sure there are moments in time where you're like, oh gosh, do I give one up? Do I give up? Do I not? Do I?
Yeah, there are endless moments like that. And I think, again, if we're being honest with ourselves, all of us
Yeah.
have that same question from time to time, whether we have multiple things that we do or we do the one thing. Is this even what I want to do for the rest of my life? But I think the path that I'm going down with this mortgage thing and I think that building this team, I think that I don't know how this is about to sound arrogant. I don't know, but I think you can truly have it all. I mean,
No, you know what? See, that's the thing is everyone's like, you can't have it all, but everyone's definition of having it all is different. So what my definition of having it all could be completely different from yours, and you having it all could really be having it all, right? Like that's where I question why people are so quick to be like, you can't have it all.
yeah,
Well, why not?
I think that it goes back into what we were saying earlier about the limitations people put on themselves and put on others. I think that we can be good. Like we just maybe I can't personally have the production of 15, 20 loans a month and do all of the things that I'm doing.
Right.
But I can do that with the right people in place on my team, if that
Yeah.
makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And I can still help the people that I'm meant to help. I can still add that quality service of the people that I'm meant to have that connection with, right? I don't necessarily want to help everybody, but I want to help the people that I'm meant to help, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. Like the
Yeah.
people that I connect with and they connect with me, and it's a genuine relationship, and we just build something great together, whether that's the clients, the people on my team, the business partners, you, whoever comes into my life, right? People like you. I mean, I am before this ends, I want to make sure that I tell you I'm incredibly grateful for this opportunity to be on your podcast.
Oh.
This here is we're building together right now, right?
Mhm.
This is going to
Yeah.
go to your network, go to my network, and a bunch of people are going to see it. So
Yeah.
I'm really blessed to be on this show today.
Yeah, no, I'm blessed to have you on here and just have the opportunity to hear so many stories. Because once again, that's how we get inspired and motivated and empowered. And I feel like we're in a day and age where like the more women that speak up, the better for all of us. So I absolutely love it. So let me ask you this. I mean, is there an end goal for you, or are you once again just like it's your journey and you're enjoying the process and trusting the process, and or do you really kind of have this like vision of your future?
I do have the vision of my future
Okay.
while trying to just enjoy the process as well, which
Okay.
could be a hard balance in
Yeah,
itself.
it can be difficult. Yeah, I get that.
But my vision is I'm newly opening a modeling school right now, and it's to help young girls or women get into the modeling industry, no matter what age you are, or if let's say you don't want a modeling career and you just simply want to have that model confidence, that's what
Mhm.
I'm trying to bring to the world, right? Um, but my vision for my future is to have these teams and these multiple streams of income while also inspiring others to live up to whatever their potential is. There's not necessarily a dream in my mind that is just too crazy. Let's see
Yeah.
how we can help you get there, whether it's through me or through the plethora of women, strong women that I have connected with. I just connected with Women's Network. And I'm going to tell you, if you haven't been involved with them, you have to find a chapter because the woman who
Okay.
runs her organization is incredible. And she wants to bring 1 million women to $1 million in their business. That's her goal,
Wow.
right? And so modeling after people like her, Christine Beckwith, who's in the mortgage industry,
I
as you
know,
know,
I
right?
know, I know Christine.
She's a big deal, but
Yeah. I
look,
will tag her on this. She'll respond. Yeah, I'm gonna
yes,
tag her.
yeah, I love her so much. I mean, all of these people that I've brought up, I mean, they've inspired me in one way, shape, or form, right? And I want to have those multiple streams of revenue coming in to where I can go and speak and tell my story and inspire others and help them reach their greatness in that way as well. So whatever that means, whatever that means for them.
Yeah, no, you and I definitely we need to kind of talk more just further just in general because just what you're trying to do like with your modeling agency and just trying to really bring this confidence to these young girls because yeah a lot of times it's not like oh I want to be a supermodel it's being more like I just want to build confidence within myself and like I had a conversation with my daughter the other day. She's a freshman in college and she's gorgeous but she's starting to feel like she's gaining weight because clearly it's natural when you're in college you don't really have options to eat healthy, all of these things, right? And she's starting to be like there's this insecurity that's coming up and surfacing and I'm like what, oh my gosh. And as a mom, and of course the typical mom, you're my mom so you're supposed to say those things. Right? But I just feel like right now it's so important with social media and just with the competition. And I say competition because these girls do compare themselves to one another and they do essentially compete with their looks and how they dress and all of that. And so I love that you're doing this because I think it's going to be so much more than modeling, like, because that's what people are going to get. Oh, modeling. But no, it's so much more than that, that what
So
you're trying
much
to do.
more. Yep.
So much more. So I'm like super excited to hear more about it because I would love to, to help in any way. Tony.
You.
Yeah, no, this is so cool because like once again, I knew that there was so much, to you, but like I love that there's even more layers to what you're doing and to your vision. And I mean, you're smart and you're beautiful. It can happen, folks. That is a thing. Women can be beautiful and smart at the same time.
That's
And that's
exactly. I commented on this woman's Instagram, and she said somebody asked if she was model, and she was like, "No, I'm smart." And I said, "Honey, you can be both. You can absolutely be both." And I said, hashtag model life. Like,
absolutely like my coworker Tiana, she was on here. She's so smart and absolutely gorgeous, just like you. And she was saying the same thing. She's like, beauty and brains, it does exist. And it's really sad though that we still have to sit there and have these conversations and like, kind of like, guys, it happens. So maybe one of these days we won't even have to have this conversation. It'll just be normal.
yeah, that would be so nice. But I will tell you one thing that I tell my girls when I'm doing the model coaching for Runway is I tell them, you are not better than anyone on this
Mm-mm.
planet at all until you hit that runway. And then you are the baddest bee out there and you better strut it, right? And so that's the kind of confidence I want in here while being humble on the outside. You are
Yeah.
not better than anyone. Don't act like that. Like your beauty and brains. And when I first met you, I was in awe of you. Like, whew, I can't even believe it. But
Make me
that's to teach these girls that just the runway walk alone. Let's say we don't even go into like photos or any of that.
yeah.
just the runway walk alone, and then you walk into a board meeting with that kind of confidence, your shoulders back, you know how to present yourself, you are going to command the room. So
Yeah.
I'm real excited about this.
I'm super excited about this. Like I love it. So I know that Dal had put in the comments how to be able to connect with you on social media. Are you on LinkedIn? I didn't know if we were.
Yep.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna have to go ahead and because I did a post about this, and it and usually that's like where my platform, you know, where I like to showcase a lot. So let me make sure that we connect so that I can tag you on this particular post as well. And then Leora just came in. Hi, Leora. Leora is actually in Colorado.
She is. We just had dinner
Yes.
the other night.
Wait, you guys had dinner together? Okay, that's not cool. Sorry. Like she and we haven't met.
Well, you need to.
Oh my gosh, but I've had Pepper on my Rock the Boat show a couple times and I've met Pepper twice.
Okay.
Yes, that's what's crazy is that I've met Pepper, but I haven't met Leora.
No, Leora is actually, we talked the other day about her being one of my contributing authors to my book, which, by the way, shameless plug, I'm still looking for contributing authors.
Okay.
But,
All right. So everybody out there.
so,
Yeah. Okay.
so we're going to be working together on all kinds of things. And Leora is great. You have to meet her. She's amazing.
I know it's just crazy that here I, have this connection with her family, but she and I we've known each other for years and she's been on my show twice already.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Leora and I okay. That's what's so funny is I can't believe you guys had dinner. I'm like that little like
LOL.
well, of course the time is up. I told you it goes by fast. But no, I'm really, really grateful that you came on. Thank you. Sorry that took a while for me to get my act together. But once again, maybe it was meant for me to hold off a little bit to reaching out to you. So yes, I believe it all is part of the process. All right. Well, thank you to everyone that hopped in and those that are going to hop in later because we have a lot of people that do the replay. But Genesis, this was so awesome. Thank you
so much. You are amazing.
Oh, thanks. All right. Well, we'll stay on and I will see everyone next Wednesday. Have a great week, everyone.